Okay, the introduction, these are my notes on the introduction. So introduction, A, B, C, D, E. That's it. I want A, B, C, D, E. I want 5 sentences in your introduction. This shouldn't be a big, long thing. There should be one sentence for each of these categories. So the first thing is your attention getter. Then the next sentence will be your reason to listen. The next will be speaker credibility. The next, your thesis statement. And the 5th sentence in your introduction will be the preview of your main points. So I want it to look just like this. Roman number 1, introduction. That word right there should look just like that on every paper. And then A, attention getter, dash. And then you give me your attention getter right there. That way I can say, okay, this is what they meant for their attention getter. Okay, that is attention getter. Good. Okay, great. Full credit for attention getter. So label the parts of your outline like that and then give them to me here. Okay, so we're writing our introduction and it will be in that order. Introduction, attention getter, reason to listen, speaker credibility, thesis statement, preview of main points. So let's talk about what those things are. I want to start with your thesis statement. Your thesis statement is the main idea of the whole speech. So this will be the most general statement of your whole speech. There are many good restaurants in Galveston. That talks about all of them. The West End, the East End, the Midtown. So that covers all of them. The thesis sentence is a very broad statement. The preview of main points is not the thesis statement. They're two separate things. So the thesis statement is your overall general main idea, and your preview of main points is a brief list of what your main points are going to be. So it's one sentence where you just list. So thesis statement, there are many good restaurants in Galveston. It's very general, broad. Preview of main points. There are great restaurants on the East End, the West End, and Midtown. So I just listed East End, West End, and Midtown. So that's a preview. Now, that doesn't explain it all to me. It's just a little taste. Let's talk about that. Organization is the main goal of the outline, and it's one of the most important parts of giving a speech, right? You try, in order to not lose your audience, we want them to easily understand the whole thing. So one of the things that we do as speakers is give them signposts. So signposts help point the way, just like, a signpost outside. So the preview is a signpost. It says, listen for these 3 things I'm going to be talking about. It doesn't go into all this detail and explain them right here and now. It just says, listen up for these 3 things I'll be talking about. So when they're listening to your speech, they'll be like, oh, here we are. We're at the first main thing. And, oh, okay, we're moving to the second main thing. And, okay, that's the third main thing. This is the end kind of the body. So that helps your listener. All right, so that's the preview main points in the thesis statement. Now let's go up to the top to attention getter. The attention getter should be the very first thing out of your mouth when you give your speech. It's tempting to discharge some of the energy when you get up there by saying, hi, I'm Leela, how are you today? Or you could say, like, oh, I'm sorry, this isn't working, or I'm sorry, I'm really nervous, or I feel like I might throw up. Just don't say any of that. You can think it all, but then let your attention getter be the first thing out of your mouth. This is just a brilliant speech giving tactic because your audience is looking at you thinking, what's she gonna say? What's he gonna say? And that attention getter just grabs them and reels them in, and then you have their attention. Okay, so what are attention getters? It is something that grab their attention would be the definition. And let me give you a list of things you can use as attention getters. You can use a startling statistic, something like, when you hear it, like 1 in 3 women will be sexually assaulted in their lifetime. And when you do give a statistic, you can break it down to your audience members. So if you're in front of a live audience, you say, that means there are 10 women in here, or there are 9 women in here, that means 3 of us will be sexually assaulted at some point in our life or already have been. Something like that. A startling statistic, a quote is a good way. Whatever you are, be a good one, is Abraham Lincoln. Attention getters. Quote statistics tell a story. It can either be a true story or a visualization. Like if you were talking about drunk driving, if you were informing about the statistics about drunk driving and the dangers, you could tell a story about someone who was in a horrible wreck or lost their family to drunk driving. That would get your audience's attention. A visualization would be, imagine you blank and tell a story that grabs your audience and pulls them in. You can use a joke for an attention getter, but this is risky because your audience doesn't always have the same sense of humor as you do. So you would need to really know your audience and be sure that joke would land if you're going to give a joke, especially in the workplace. Okay. Right. Okay, so those are the parts of an introduction. And so after you've written your body and then your introduction, the next step is the conclusion.